Hey, what's up guys, it's Higgins in Japan, and I'm just headed back from the grocery store. I feel like I make videos all the time of me either going to the grocery store or just getting back from the grocery store. Anywho, so, like, living in Japan can be rather expensive. So the cost of living roughly is about, I believe, 20% higher than it is living in the States. So, you know, if you're going to come to Japan, take that into account. You know, if you're going to live here, things are going to cost more. At this point, I've been here long enough that I don't really notice it. It's not like I'm scraping by and I've got to, you know, eat ramen every day. But there are some really easy ways to save money. So, I am driving back from the grocery store, and I went to a grocery store that is not super close to my apartment, but it's also not too far, so I didn't feel like I was wasting gas getting there. Anyways, so I'm not big on brand name stuff. It doesn't have to have a brand name. I'm not really too concerned if it tastes, if the food tastes, decent. I'm not really concerned with, oh, does it have, XYZ label on it or whatever. But here's the thing, this grocery store that I went to, and they're all over Japan, they, apparently, it looks like from the stuff that I was seeing on the shelves, a lot of it was for, like, restaurant use. Not that it said, for restaurant use only, but a lot of the stuff was, larger packaging and geared towards, like, restaurant usage, it looked to, to my opinion. That being said, I was able to pick up stuff there that I actually couldn't normally get at my normal grocery store. So that was really cool. But what I'm trying to say is it was cheaper. It's cheaper than my normal grocery store because they're not like... Now, they do have name brand stuff there, but not everything there is a name brand or a name that I recognize or, anything like that. But the stuff was a lot cheaper. So, if you're going to be living in Japan... go to the grocery stores, the Daies and the Kasumi and the, whatever's in your local area. And, you usually get stuff good price, but you find one of these grocery stores that's kind of off the beaten path and, quite frankly, doesn't even look like a grocery store from the front. Like, literally, I've driven past this thing probably 100 times and didn't know that it was a grocery store until somebody told me. So, I mean, I was able to get stuff like bagels. You can't usually find bagels at the grocery store. That's just not something that, like, the normal Japanese grocery store is going to carry. Mostly because not too many Japanese people wake up in the morning and go, I could really go for a bagel this morning. Like, that's not a Japanese staple, so they're not going to carry it. It makes sense. But yeah, this grocery store is pretty great, actually. It was... yeah, I'm trying to think, what else did I get? I was able to get some, like, hamburger steak, like, frozen in a bag. Like, normally that stuff's pretty expensive, if you're buying one or two at a time. And, I got, like, a bag of 8. So, it was pretty cool. So, yeah, if you're going to come to Japan, this is one of Higgins' many tips for living in Japan. If you're going to come to Japan, you're going to live here for a while, you want to save some money, try to search out these little grocery stores, these little markets that you can pick up stuff. Because a lot of times you're going to be able to pick it up a lot cheaper. Even, stuff like pasta and, like, I got spaghetti sauce and noodles, and that stuff was cheaper than my normal grocery store. So, yeah, be on the lookout for those stores, because, like, honestly, wherever you can save money, and, there's nothing wrong with saving money, goodness, like, saving money's a good thing. But if you're in name brands, don't expect to find, name brand stuff in mass quantities there. But like I said, I don't care. If it tastes like Hershey's, but it's called Mersheys, well, Hershey's is kind of, let's not mess with Hershey's. You know what I'm saying. If you're into name brands, then buy your name brands, but you're going to pay for them. Like I said, I'm not really super concerned about name brand stuff. So I was able to pick up bagels and hash browns and stuff on the cheap side. So that's Higgins tip number 48 for living in Japan. I'll catch you guys later. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or something else, I don't know. I'm driving, so I should pay attention to that. Higgins in Japan. Catch you guys later. Peace.